Okay, well, go on. My 1-0s, 1-2s, 9-7s. What else? I'm gonna actually, basically level you guys up. What happened to my music? Okay, my music's back. I'm gonna level you guys up to 701s. And what 701s essentially is basically just like the family element of 10 boys, if you wanna put it that way. I wanted to do a video for you guys today on this bad boy right here. It's why I'm over here looking at somebody's auntie, still with my hair up and all sorts. I'm not really looking nobody, I don't really care what I look like. We're here for this stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like in Airsoft, this is very relevant. It's a very relevant time to talk about products like this, because I say a lot on the channel. So when a company gets it right, you know what I'm saying? I like to give them their flowers while they're still here. So let's get straight into it. This is the Delta Armoury CO7 Charlie. Now essentially what that is an M4 platform. I know a lot of people are gonna come to this video, especially like the intermediate players, are gonna come to this channel and be like, oh, there's so many other things on the market. Why are you speaking on that? Look, you review it then. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I make my choices. But anyways, let's get into it. So there's a few different ways to get this platform. One of my mates, he owns a store, so he ended up buying in a lot of them, and he was able to get me a real good discount, so I'm not allowed to say it, and I ended up getting him in trouble, which we don't want to do. But I also have mates, well, I say mates, people I work alongside at. Essentially what they do sometimes is they'll send me kit that they want me to review to get real feedback. So this is one of those guns that they've sent me. Luckily, I've also got one myself coming over the next few days, so I'll be making adjustments and so it was kind of cool to have something that I'm gonna have myself, because I've got ideas for it myself. But anyways, let's not keep talking, let's keep the ball rolling. The box, y'all know me, I like to spend time talking on the box. I like it. It's what is going on with this camera stuff? We go through as YouTubers trying to make good content for you guys. But yeah, let's get back into it. So you know, sometimes I can spend bare long talking about boxes. I'm gonna keep it short and simple. They've chopped their logo right at the top. I love that. Tell me who it's from, where it's coming from. Their logo looks cool. Let's not spend bare time on that. It shows you the quick release system on this front end. Do you know what? Let me turn it to this camera so you guys can see. So it has like this quick change thing. It shows you how the quick change system works, which I love, because who don't like the ability to change the spring? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Especially fast as well. So I kind of like that. And apparently it's the Generation 2 system. I don't know what is the difference between Generation 1 and Generation 2, because I would have hoped it is literally remove your stock, unscrew, take off your thing, and then the spring comes out, which is my understanding, but I don't know, they're calling it Generation 2. Maybe for them it's Generation 2, but for everybody else it is kind of the original generation. That's how quick change works. But yeah, I think it's just them trying to sell stuff. They've got a picture of the riff on the side of the box right here. It's good having two cameras, because normally I have to make it work for that camera. So yeah, the DA-07 Charlie M4/AR15 platform. Key mod is called the Predator AR. I really like the name, I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, and then obviously they've got it color coded in black. They have a picture of what the riff looks like, barcode, all the good stuff, company logos, all that good stuff. And it's a 10-inch platform, which I really love, because it's like you get length, but you also get maneuverability, whereas sometimes you get like this DMR length style platform and it's just mad long, you can't use it in CQB area. So I really like that. They've got more information on the front end: fast chase spring, rotary hop up, nonsense QRS system, which to my knowledge is just a quick release system, just with a fancy name. What's A style match trigger, which is pretty nice but very standard these days. Magazine is pretty nice, etc, etc. Let's open the box, bruv. I feel like I'm chatting way too much. So let's open the box. So when you bust the box, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. That camera will use a bit later for the rest of the other footage. But when you bust the box initially, so I got all the notes and stuff. Put that to one side. When you bust the box, what you get in the box, oh, I wish you guys up there could see it. Let me try and spin it over to the camera here. I just want y'all to be able to see what you actually get in the box. So, let's move that for a sec. So obviously, you get your manual, which you like. We'll have a look at that a bit later, see how they did in there. You do not get a chrono. I've chucked that in there from yesterday. You do get an Allen key. I'm still trying to work out what this is for, but I'm presuming that this is for things like your key mod rails and stuff like that. And maybe things like detaching your actual handguard, deattaching the upper and lower receiver, and things like your attachments like iron sights. So thank you for that, because I did say that last year in one of my review videos. I hate companies that give us all these things but expect us to have this, because not everybody's a tech. Some people need these things. So thank you for that. You get your mag, which is a mid cap mag. I believe it's 120 round. It's got some kind of Delta Armoury logo on the side, which I kind of like. It kind of reminds me of what are they called? Not Specna Arms. There's a quality mag that looks like this, man. It looks like the real deal mag. I can't even remember the name of the brand. Not New Pro, bro. But they're decent. They're like 30, well, I say £30. They're like 20 quid. Really, really good mag. They're 150 rounds normally. It looks like that, so that's a very good sign. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to using this. Apparently it's 120 rounds. So I lose the 30 rounds, but I don't mind that, because there's a feature on one of my guns that allows me to set the ETU to a certain amount of rounds, and I really want to use these mags to test that. I want to run 120 rounds. But anyways, we're talking about this gun. And then obviously you get your nice riff on the inside. I'm going to chuck the box to the side so I can actually handle things a bit better. And then you get like, because it comes in Deans, they give you a connector for anyone who has Tamiya. I think it's Tamiya? Yeah, Tamiya connectors, which is pretty cool. Value for money. I think Patrol Base, my guy has this gun up for 110. And Patrol Base has this gun up for 100 quid at the moment. It's likely to go back up to 130. Patrol Base currently have it on sale. It's meant to be 140 quid. My guy has it up on sale right now for 110 quid. So it's up to you. Shout us if you're interested. Go to Patrol Base if you want to go there. Yeah, Patrol Base, y'all should pay me, bro. I'll be doing promo for y'all. Yeah, so let's shut this to one side, and then we can talk about everything straight off top. And I do think I should have got up some specs, so let me grab my phone, because I want to talk about what Patrol Base says about it compared to what I've experienced briefly. So we're going to chuck the mag up here, we're going to chuck the chrono, because I did get a chance to chrono the gun yesterday, so we'll talk about that. Let's have a quick look through that. So it looks like a generic booklet, which is alright, especially for a brand like Delta Armoury, because they make most of their platforms are M4 based AR style platforms, so I kind of expect that. Maybe it's wrong for me to expect that, but I kind of expect that with companies like Delta specifically. Yeah, I think that's the gun right there. Okay, yeah, so it's called the Delta Armoury DA-07 Charlie Predator. They've got few models. Please don't copy me, bruv. I don't want to go out there and everybody's gun looks like mine. They've got about 8 different models, if I'm correct. Don't quote me on that. I think it's 6. But they've got bare different models, different colors, different length barrel. Go for something else, please. I hate going out and everybody's got the same gun, man. Like, can you do something unique, please? Okay, so it says 6.3 tight bolt, millimeter tight bolt in a barrel, which is always a nice sign, because it's not too tight, but it's tight enough that you should get a nice placement. Pre-upgraded version 2 gearbox. Now that for me, I feel like is the manipulative selling point there, because that's not 100% true. It's half true, which I'm going to come back to in a second. High density polymer construction, I agree with. Last year I built a lot with Specna arms. I probably built about 15 to 20 different Spectre arm builds for different clients and stuff. And the one thing why we went with the Spectre arm builds was they're polymer and they're strong enough to take impact and smashing your gun up. Whereas some of the earlier combat machines from G&G and New Pro and stuff like that, if you were to run in the wall, the gun would snap in half. I've seen this happen to people at CQB. So when they say a high density polymer, I really respect them on this, because I feel it when holding the gun. I genuinely feel it. I feel like if I was to run into a wall, I might crack something depending on the speed and the angle, but I won't snap my gun. And I've literally seen people snap off handguards and barrels. Like, it's rude. It's actually rude. So I respect them for achieving that. But you know me, I game hard. So as I use this gun, I will tell you guys what I experienced. I think we'll have like a 3-month and a 6-month update. So if you're looking for a lightweight, affordable platform, rare, another Arsenal, aluminum micro suppressor. I like the suppressor thing. Well done, genuinely, because I've ran a few tests with the suppressor, like changing the front end with a tracer. That worked, and I was fucking mind blown about that. What else was another thing? I wanted to be able to drop the suppressor into the handguard to give it like this almost like peaking look. It's able to do that. Really well done, Delta Armoury on that. This is more for people who like custom, like want to do things to the gun. And yeah, let me say this. The reason why I'm running a review, because I know bare people are going to be like, oh, you have this expensive DSG build, why are you not talking about more expensive guns? I meet a lot of players that come into the sport, don't have a great budget, and really just want to play. So what I'm trying to do is focus on stuff that is affordable, and you don't have to really, if you don't want to do anything to it, you can just use it as it is. Like, it's actually an alright gun. I would advise certain things, which I'm going to speak on soon, but yeah. It says, okay, important stuff. LiPo ready. Great. They're claiming the FPS is 320 FPS with 2s. I don't know about that. I've got some evidence I'm going to show you in a little bit, but we'll get back to that. The weight is approximately 2.26 kg, which is pretty good for about a 10-inch rifle. They say the stock you can push in 72.5 millimeters, and then you can release 80.5 millimeters. I don't 100% understand why that is, but I guess we'll come back. Well, yeah, there's a little bit on the end that takes up some space, so it makes sense. What? It does semi-full auto, safe. There is no programmability because it has no like ETU. The ETU is like, it's stock. It's like, it just fires the gun. It's one of them kind of ETUs. It's not a programmable electronic board or nothing like that. So don't get excited. And what I will say to defend the Delta Armoury on this one is, for 100 quid, anyone who's gonna give you an ETU, you need to keep an eye on either the ETU they give you or the rest of the gun. Because if somebody's gonna give you an ETU in a gun that costs 140 quid, check from you buy that gun, maybe open it and just have a look so you know what you're getting yourself into, or watch reviews and stuff where people open it, because you're gonna suffer somewhere, whether it's the gears, whether it's the ETU itself, whether it's the tappet plate, something somewhere, whether it's the motor, you're gonna suffer. They're not gonna tell you, because I saw this a lot with the Honey Badger from Double Eagle. Great gun once put together, but if you start isolating the parts, you start seeing problems within it, like the style gearbox they put in it, like the type of motor they put in it. You like the quality of the actual plastic on the internal parts. The outside's nice, but do you get what I'm trying to say? You start seeing the paintwork quality and stuff like that. However, I still stand by it. The Honey Badger is a nice little weapon, straight, especially if you don't want to do anything to a weapon. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that. It's 1-for-1, based on a 1-for-1 of the AR15 and M4 platform. They suggest using 2.5s. It has a rotary hop up. What else is important? Because I actually want to just show you the gun. 10-inch barrel length. Outer barrel is mel, so anyone who's trying to run suppressors or tracers or anything like that. 14mm. The inner barrel, so this is something I found very interesting. For such, it almost like the gun confuses you. You look at it and you expect it to have a really short barrel in there. It has a 320mm barrel, which some people might still say to me, but that's fairly short for like AR/DMR platform, but it's like, that's really long in my opinion, because I have a gun, I have a DSG build that will shoot, give or take, as far as a DMR will, give or take. And the barrel is no longer than this, probably shorter than this. The barrel's probably about this long in there. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So for me, 320 mil is quite long, because this is probably about 140, 130, give or take. Give or take. You know what I'm trying to say? So, and the average, like, this came out of a flex one from Spectre Arms. That's an average barrel length. And look, my barrel's still shorter than a short one. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Just to give you context of what I'm talking about. Cool. Let's get back into it. The magazine is 120 rounds, version 2 gearbox, rear wide, which I love. I hate front wide. They advise 7.4, but well, it's up to you. You should listen to them. But I never run 7.4 in anything. I always run 11.1. If it blows, let it blow. You know what I'm trying to say? Because then it shows me I need to replace the ETU. But don't be like me. Be safe, because you ain't a tech, and I don't want to burn down your house, and then you can blame me for it. So I shouldn't laugh, but you have to be comedic in this life, man. Life is too serious. So yeah, I think I've told you the most of it, and it says it has a standard motor. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, it was £135. But when I originally saw it, it was 140, and like I said, my guy has it for 110, and Patrol Base has it on offer for 100 quid. Okay, I've done all that boring electronic stuff. So the thing kind of just looks generic. It isn't really in English, is it? I'm not seeing English. Where is my English? They do it upside down. Yeah, so the first fail for me from them is it's not even in English. Can you see that, guys? It's like, okay, it is in English. Oh, okay, it's weird. Okay, I see it. Okay, I respect it. I guess where they're trying to sell the gun in multiple regions, if you want to call it that, the booklet has, it's weird. It's like, say there's one bit that talks about the battery. Just underneath it, they've got it, the same information in a different language, which is, I guess, it's kind of cool, because then everybody can, yeah, I'll give them a stars for that. I won't give them a negative. It just took a sec for my brain to understand what was happening there. Ah, it's not generic. They've got the gun in there. You get stars as well. Well done, well done. I like companies who do that, because as I remember as a noob, looking at the booklet, trying to work out and puzzling my brain, and at least if you're looking at your own platform, the one you've actually got in the box, it's like you feel more comfortable and there's less anxiety. And these companies need to remember, it's like the whole point of us buying it is the experience, not just the shooting on the field. It's actually the whole experience, using it, taking things down, putting things together, getting ready for games, actual gameplay, mag reloads, maintenance. It's the whole experience that makes us choose to come back to your company again, or your brand again. So I'm gonna give them a high five on the booklet. I never really used these booklets for anything, because I've been doing this way too long. Let's have a look at the gun, bruv. But I like the mag. I like the mag. I like the mag. It looks nice. It really does look nice. Let me slot check it in my other gun, because that's how we'll know if it's a good mag. Oh! And there's no move, or there's minimal wobble, or there is a bit of wobble, which probably ain't the greatest. But apart from, well, to be honest, you cannot, yeah, my gun does that anyway with the other mags, unless they're the flush ones. To be fair, that's a good sign. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Well done. Probably not the most quality feeling mag, because I like to give people honesty. Probably not the most quality feeling mag in that process, but I go out to play with the man in a lot where it's like, we just want to play damn fun airsoft. This will do the job. And because of how it feels, I can feel like, let me say this. It makes me feel like I wouldn't mind buying more of them. I've got to check the price, but I don't feel like this mag would cost 30 quid. I feel like this mag would cost maybe a 10 or 15 quid, and that makes me comfortable that as long as it works fine, I'd buy more of them. So again, well done on that, Delta Armoury. I've got to test how the mag feeds, because that's the one thing I haven't done, because I ran the test on a 1000 rounder from, I can't remember the brand, but yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Now, the bit that everybody's been waiting for, please don't complain at me I've taken so long to go into this. It's just important because there's so much people that come on my channel and they're genuinely noobs. And if I don't explain all the other stuff I just explained, they're gonna say to me, oh, I bought this gun and I shot my son in his leg because you didn't explain. You know what I'm saying? And we all know that's not my fault, right? Because they have a duty of care to themselves, but it's my job as a person doing this to do as much as I can to support my viewers. See it that way. So if it means that I upset some of you guys because I have to explain more stuff, I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry. It's just I'm trying to support my newer players, and I meet these people at sites and they're like, oh, how does that work? And I'm like, oh, I need to do a video on that. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to take these things into consideration these days when making content. So I'm sorry, because so much people are like, oh, you take so long to get into the gun. It's like, I'm trying to care about our newcomers. So if you want, just click skip, and get to the bit that you want. So yeah, let's get into it straight off top. I love how the gun feels. That was the first thing. When I took it out of the box, I was like, it feels amazing. It reminds me of the feeling I got when I opened the Honey Badger. Light, it kind of made me want to go out and play straight away. Feels good. For a polymer gun, like, because you can feel it, like this is polymer, so yeah, let me use that camera. So you can genuinely feel it. Handguard, polymer. Lower, polymer. Upper, polymer. Attachments at this stage, I'm going to also say polymer. Polymer. That feels metal though. Okay, so your charging handle is metal. Yeah, nice. Charging handle's metal. Yay! I always worry about this thing right here being metal because it goes under so much pressure, because that's what you attach your sling to. Do you get what I'm saying? So especially on the cheaper style guns, I always check companies. I'm like, are you gonna cheap out? I don't mind you cheaping out in some areas, because as a user, I'm gonna upgrade these things anyway. But I like that. Such a small thing, but it makes a difference to me. So well done, Delta Armoury. And then the stock also polymer. The thing I didn't like, which I'm gonna comment on, but a new user wouldn't care about this, is put some respect on my name. A plastic buffer tube. If there's one thing I want on a gun, is a metal buffer tube. Make it light as possible, please. But give me a metal one. And do you know why I say this? I've seen this happen so many times. I'm sorry again, stopping the review. But I've seen it so many times where a gun is shouldered, yeah? And I'll show you what I mean. Seen it so many times. And I feel bad for the people. A gun is shouldered, and they may go around a corner, and this thing snaps or bends. Or over time, what happens is you do this so much, applying force to it so much that you pick up somebody's gun and you look at it like this, and it's bent. It's like straight bent. And essentially what that is because on the buffer, inside the buffer tube, what's happening is there's a screw that's connected into the gearbox that holds onto your buffer tube, that then allows the stock to sit on, because now there's no play. So if you give me a plastic one, it can't handle as much tolerance. It can't tolerate as much, essentially. So that you get a big thumbs down from me. I like the fact it's light, because Spectre Arms does the same thing. It's light, but I'm worried about this. However, it's the same plastic as everything else on the gun from what I can see. So my prayer, I've got a metal one at the moment, which I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm tempted to change straight away. You know what I'm saying? Into, however, for reviewing sake, I'm gonna leave the plastic one on the gun for 3 months, just to see if there is any wear and tear. I'll do a takedown video where I pull it off the gun and I kind of speak about it. And if it, I don't know, if it works well, I'll leave it. But I'm worried, bro. I'm genuinely worried, because there's days when I run and I might slip and slide and I have to roll. If that was metal, it would be alright, because it would take the impact and I might have to check my screw afterwards just to make sure I haven't broke anything or snapped it or anything. But the buffer tube would be alright. The gun would still be intact. The problem with a plastic one is I've genuinely seen this. One of my mates was running and the floor was unleveled. So he's misstepped, and in that he's tumbled. The gun's obviously gone down in front of him, and on the way down it looks like it's done that, and obviously the impact snapped clean off. And you have to remember that that's where your battery and everything's housed. So I kind of felt bad for him that day, because in the process he ripped his gun wire, he ripped the battery, he almost started a fire in the woods. There was just bare things that happened. So for me, like I said, as a company, for safety and just quality assurance, I would go metal. Maybe preferably CNC, but I understand everybody gonna claim it value for money, it's expensive, innit? And you're trying to sell a gun at £100. So either charge me slightly more, or don't CNC it, just make it steel. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And just coat it in black or something. Apart from that, so yeah, okay, let's keep it moving. This is non-functional, which for 100 quid you kind of expect. It's just nice that it's there. Our iron sights are functional, so you click this back, or you squeeze that back and that comes forward. You squeeze that back as well and that comes forward. I'm gonna be real with you, they're polymer. They feel trash. I'm gonna be honest with you. However, for a new player who doesn't want to spend bare money into attachments, like, you have to remember, I'm intermediate, bro. I'm gonna put money into this gun. I like it. It feels good. It makes me want to play the sport. For the longer distances, I can just see it. I could see, when you can see yourself using a gun as an intermediate player, you know that's a good sign. You know what I'm saying? Normally I'd have found bare problems already. However, I won't use them personally. At worst, I'll probably leave the back one on, and I'll be real, I've already got a back iron sight that I could use, so I think I'm going to change them off. But for the standard new user, I think they're perfect. Like, they look fairly nice. And when I was shooting yesterday, one thing I would say is it was really, really cool, because I was able to, how do I explain it? I was able to use the iron sights and it was fine straight out of the box. I didn't have to adjust the hop. Further down the line, I adjusted the hop because now I was shooting at a 40-meter distance. But I found that really cool that straight out of the box, the iron sights worked. I've never, I don't want to lie. Yeah, that's the truth. I've never bought a gun straight out of the box when the iron sights work. I always have to tweak them. I think the closest thing that came to it was probably the FO1 that I bought from Spetna Arms, and the FO3 that had the HAL ETU system. But this doesn't have a HAL ETU system. This doesn't have an ETU system, just has some standardy. So for this one, I'm quite excited, because for 100 quid, you get this quality polymer body, you get this suppressor, you get iron sights, you get this stock. I kind of really like the stock because it looks chunky, but when shouldered, it feels so, it almost like, you almost forget it's there because it just tucks up. So now you're in control of the gun, if you get what I mean. It's very interesting. You'd have to feel it, because I've got another stock that is completely different, and I normally use that stock because that one's smaller, and it just feels better. It's easy to get around corners and stuff like that. But what I did find, I'm torn between this stock and the other stock, because though this looks chunky, it feels similar. Not exactly the same, but it feels similar to the other stock. So I'd say grab it, see how you get on with it before you change it. Another thing I do like about the stock is they give you two ways to take it off. So you got this comfortable system right here that you can just pull down and pull off, which I really like, because most companies, they've got like a metal bar that runs through either side. It hurts the hell out of your fingers. I'm telling you, it hurts the hell out of your fingers. You can see I don't have the most female-y type hands. I have male hands. I work, I tech most of the day. But even for someone like me, I found myself like bracing myself emotionally before I go and do it, because it hurts. It genuinely hurts. You have to wear gloves to be okay. Whereas with this one, it's nice and plasticky. It's comfortable to do. So that was one thing that made me want to use this one more than the other one, even though the other one felt maybe 20% better. Another thing I did really like is you've got sling points right there and right there. Big well done. Big well done. I know most people do this these days, but they don't always get it right where they put it, and the angling and the quality, and it did look pretty good, I will say that. I even chucked a sling in it yesterday. I'll do it quickly for you just to see. which I found pretty cool. Went in easy, held the gun perfectly fine. So I would recommend it, trust me. I was a bit hesitant when looking at them online because I thought the platform just looked so kind of slimline that something so big stock wise might make your platform look kind of chunkier than it needs to look, but it feels really good, trust me, it feels really good. So first thing I want to speak about Deans. I love guns that give us Deans straight off the top, because anyone who plays long term, you know, especially if you play in the summer, you'll know Tamiyas are not great, because I've had Tamiyas that this hasn't happened to me, but again, stuff I've seen on the field on my journey. I've seen Tamiyas that have got so hot that they've fused to the battery wire, so they can't be disconnected now. Crazy. I've seen Tamiyas get so hot the back of the gun sets on fire. I've seen Tamiyas that disconnect mid-game and start a fire. I've just seen everything, a lot of bad things with Tamiya, so I'm not a huge fan of Tamiya. So I like guns, especially when it hasn't got a upgraded ETU and they've given you a Tamiya, a Deans. I'm like high five, because it shows me that even though you couldn't give me this expensive ETU because of the value of the gun, you've tried to do everything possible to give me a certain level. I respect you guys for that. What else can we talk about? I like the fact that they've given you all these attachment points, which is really cool. It did annoy me a little bit, because for me, and this is just personally, for me, because of the type of player I am, when I have a gun shouldered, I tend to hold the end of the barrel, which means that now my hands is ramping up against rails. So I think for me personally, I'd probably remove these rails just because of my play style. The only one that would potentially stay would be this one right here on the far side. But that's just my playstyle. For somebody else who loves attachments, you might want a grip right there, he might want a grip right here, he might want flashlight there, you know what I'm saying? Leave them. It's really cool that they gave you the option. Plus you have, because of the, I think it's called key mod, because of the handguard system they've given you, you have near enough endless options of where to put things and how to run them. So I love that again. Another thing I did want to speak about briefly was this suppressor. I like companies who give you, I'm gonna say free shit. Obviously they needed a way to, because you can see right there, they needed a way to cover the barrel, because the barrel is quite long, right? But I just like companies who do stuff like this, because you didn't need to and you did, and this gives me the ability to, like I said to you earlier, if I wanted to take it off and put a tracer on the end, I have the ability to do that, while still keeping my body intact, which I kind of like. Cool. I did open it and have a look. It has sponge on the inside, which I find really cool, because if at some point you wanted to DMR this platform or start like camp up in someone's area, as long as the gun itself wasn't too loud, which I'm going to also speak on, it would be giving you this extra suppressive action, which £400, bruv, there's guns that I bought for $450, bro, and they don't do none of these things I'm listing. They've just got great internal. Do you get what I'm saying? So when I got the gun, I probably had to sit back and be like, there is definitely room for improvement, but I think there always will be at a gun that costs £100. Always. Do you know what I'm trying to say? However, if you're I will say this, if you're a person who you just go out every couple of weeks, you're not really majorly serious, you just want to go and shoot, have fun, buy the gun. You won't be unhappy. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're somebody a bit more intermediate, they've got different versions of the system that are not the Charlie. It's not called the Charlie. If you just have a look at the Delta Armoury range that have ETU systems in them that are programmable, you might want to go for something like that. The only thing I would say with that is be careful how far you program them, because once you start adding pre-cocking and rear and all these things, you now mess up what the company's done. I say this just because I've seen probably 4 of these guns in the last 2-3 months. People have bought them to me. I bought the gun a month ago. Problems. By the time I've taken the gun down, the gun itself is fine. It's just they've over-programmed it, and it's because they've got now access to this ETU system. So just a bit of advice: bring it to a tech and let us pre-program it for you, because then we can fine-tune it. We'll switch on and off what don't need to be on and off. Do you get what I'm saying? Or what does need to be. And the what was I gonna say? Bring it to a tech, or I could tell you the ins and outs, but I know people are just going to program the guns wrong, so I don't want to do that, because then you're going to blame me for you programming your gun wrong. But just avoid active break, not active braking, pre-cocking. That's the main one. Everything else you can kind of just about get away with if you know what you're doing. But just avoid the pre-cocking on these cheaper ETU systems. Pre-cocking is more for the more expensive side of stuff, and I know a lot of people might disagree with me, but I say this because I have seen over 100 guns that I've had problems with because of this pre-cocking issue. It's there for a purpose. If you've already got a speed trigger, you've already got active braking, you've already doing certain other things, leave it. It will only make you lose FPS and cause problems. But anyways, cool. Let's keep moving. My point was, I love companies who give us these little cool things that actually work, not shit versions. Like, it's got the sponge, it threads fairly nice. I think I will put some grease on it just to save the wearing down of the metal, because it probably ain't made of the best metal for 100 quid, but I'm happy with it. It was one of the bits that drew me to the gun, because I was like, yeah, bruv, that looks cool. If I ever wanted to drop this into the handguard, I could, because it's slim enough that I can. So that was one thing that kind of made me happy, kind of thing. I think I will chuck a barrel stabilizer in there though, because I feel like if you were to smash that upwards, you could potentially bend your outer barrel. But I've got a tool for that. I've got an attachment. It basically goes on the inside and seats around it, and you just screw it in place so it keeps it sturdy in the middle. I actually sell them on the store if anyone's interested. I can post you guys some out. Okay, what else do I want to talk about? Looks. So you know me, looks is a big thing because I like cool shit. I like the fact that they've chucked their name there, very cool, low key, kind of engraved into the body. I like